All right. Hello, everybody. We are live. I will make sure to ping so that we all know this, but this is a State of Scrims combo episode. Apologies about my mic there. That was really loud, I'm sure. Sorry about that, but we should be good. State of Scrims awards combo episode. Let me see if I can't clip that out at the beginning of the pod so we don't fry anyone's ears. But we do have 5 new awards this season. They are the hardest cook, which I believe was suggested by Honan. We have Weak Side God. Let me see if I can't figure out what that one is. Weak Side God was suggested by Anne. We have, and then the last 3 are all Jacob creations. We have Best Bot Duo, which is 2 players with the best bot lane synergy, Rookie of the Season, and MVP Caster. So we're going to go down the list. Looking at the first one, we have Hardest Cook. Do we have any predictions in chat for Hardest Cook? I think this one was pretty open-ended. A lot of people could have ended up getting this award. Give it a few seconds. Seeing Blake in chat. We're seeing Dave, Blake for sure, or Honan. That's 3 guesses. Noam, based 11-month subscriber. Appreciate that. And I'm going to reveal the hardest cook. And it is bingo to Avery. It is Honan on the Thresh. So congratulations to Honan for winning the hardest cook. I think he was doing more cooking in signups than he was in the team format, but we appreciate him regardless. Absolute banger games from him. He wins his own award, which is pretty funny. Moving on to Weak Side God. Drop any predicts in chat, and I am going to reveal that in about 30 seconds. But Weak Side God is for people who basically get no resources from their team and are left to fend for themselves and still make themselves look good despite it. We're seeing guesses. We see Avery, Alana, Joel seem to be the top competitors. And it is going to be, say, Mordekaiser player, which has got to be Alana. So congratulations to Alana there. A lot of play towards the bot and mid lane on that team. So Alana just soaking up a lot of pressure from the other team. It is going to be the one winning that one. Moving on to Best Bot Duo. If we have any predictions there. I think there were a lot of different submissions from this one. I think some of them were people who only ever played together once. Jacob can attest to this. Alana saying it would be criminal if they were not the Weak Side God, and 100% agree on that. We're seeing Alex PB. I think that's a really good one. Solid suggestion there. Do we have any other suggestions in chat? Me and Eric. That's a pretty solid one. That was my personal vote. Stav and Jacob, another banger one. But it is actually going to be none of those. It is going to be Sarverus and Mythic. Congratulations. Also, and it's not rigged if it's me. I'm not the one who collected these. If it was Stav and Jacob, it would be rigged. Okay. Let's do Rookie of the Season last, because I put the most stake in that award personally. I do like shouting out these rookies. So for MVP caster, do we have any suggestions? I feel like the people who casted the most probably going to be Jacob, Honan, Noam, me. I think Avery and Brewer got in there a bit later. I know Brewer was my personal vote. I'm just closing these because it were my awards, so I'm going to add to the culture. But seeing Dean, Honan in here. And since it's me, MVP caster is going to be me. I appreciate the support. I did not vote for myself. I don't know what the numbers looked like, but do appreciate the love from everyone. I try my best to have banger casts. Moving on to Rookie of the Season, I want to hear the predicts here, because I feel like there were a lot of rookies across the league. Pretty excited to see a lot of them play. We have Arnier, we have Liz, we have Puza, we have Mythic. I think Bean is a rookie too. At least didn't play too much. We had Z as well. Trying to think of the other teams. I got out of order, but we're seeing Mythic, Puza. Um, Lots of Mythic though, so we are going to go ahead and reveal this. Arnier shouted out here, but the rookie of the season is what the crowd has been guessing. It is Mythic. Insane performances from him this season. His Nautilus crushing everybody. Same with Leona. Absolute banger stuff. Stav being robbed here, according to Noam, could be true. But Mythic, absolute banger, slots into a banger first place team and just does super well. So much love there. Okay, and with that, we will be moving on to the main awards. Side awards are concluded. We will be adding Rookie of the Season to these awards in the future. I just didn't have it in on the survey initially. How do we want to do this for the culture? Which one do we want to do first? Most improved, flex player, sixth player are all ones that we sometimes do first. Then all scrims first and second in the middle, and then best teammate, then MVP. But we can do a different order. Let's see what chat wants. MVP last. Yeah, 100% agree. I don't think we're doing that in any other order. Best teammate first. That's what I'm seeing. Teammate. That's 2 votes for teammate. We'll do it. Here, let me get the results pulled up so I can get the polls running, because I think that's something that we all appreciate. For best teammate, our top 5 in no particular order. Let me readjust this so I can actually see my predictions. So our prediction, teammate, probably spelling it wrong, but we have Cesarius, we have Joel, we have Noam, we have Brewer, and we have Stanley. Again, in no particular order, I'm going to give a 30-second prediction window. Noam says not me. Noam is predicting it is Joel. Noam is too humble. Stanley says he gets 6-team mid award. I can confirm right now that that is in fact not correct, Stanley. We have some Brewer guessers. We have a Joel guesser. The prediction has concluded. Joel is the one with the most votes, but we are going to go over to the best teammate. Let me make sure I have the proper thing selected. Oh, it is being a huge pain. Hold on. I'm just going to have to delete these other things so that it's not messing with me. Okay. Best teammate is going to be Brewer. So congratulations to Brewer. I think a lot of people on the Spectres did really enjoy playing with him, and a lot of people not on the Spectres also did enjoy playing with him. So congratulations to Brewer. Brewer did have the Brewer fan club running for him, so I think there's a bit of stuff there. Let's go to Flex Player, if that works for people. I'm not sure what people are saying. Okay. Just go down the column. Okay, most improved first. Managed prediction, we will start prediction, and MIP. Yeah, actually, MIP I'm not going to do a prediction for, since we actually do have the rare double win. I think there are 2 players that did end up winning this award. One of them, statistically, there's just no case for any other player. So I feel like they have to be a participant, but the other player, just optically, and I think if you look outside of the context of Scrim Zone, I think this player had an insane season last season, and continued to have an insane season this season. But I think just in terms of game skill, they improved a lot. So We are going to look at 2 players for most improved player, and it is going to be Jacob and Hadiri. So congratulations to both of these players. Jacob, huge improvement. I think climbed a lot of elo, learned a lot about the game, and then Hadiri had a very rough season due to some health issues as well, but absolute tear of a season here. So wanted to shout him out as well. Moving on to the flex player. Believe there are only 4 options for this one, so I'll just throw them all up there as options. Let me think about alphabetical order of this one. And then, yes, so it is going to be Anne, Cam, Rex, and Russ. 2 meta busters here. We have a Rift Shark, and we have a New York Nutbuster. I will say the margin for this award was very slim. All players received at least 5 votes. The first place player received 17.5 votes, and the second place received 17 votes. So this one was super close. The prediction has just ended, so I am going to reveal it. It is Cam. Congratulations to Cam. He had well-rounded 3 different roles, a lot of stuff. That was the most predicted outcome. So congratulations to Cam. Plays a lot of these assassin picks and absolutely has rinsed people in jungle, mid, and top. Moving down to the 6th player. A lot of options on this one. Really do appreciate the teams making sure their subs really get to participate. I think this is probably the most participation we've had from subs across all of our seasons, which was really awesome to see. I'm glad we got to see a lot of different rosters going here. My alphabetical order is not great, but our 5 choices for this one are going to be Blake, Joey, Honan, Stav, and Psycho Carrot. No one wants to know, is Rex 17? Dean, tell us. Yes, Rex is 17. I will not be leaking full results for most of the awards, but since that one was close, I'll give him that recognition. All right. Currently, Honan has all the prediction points. No one thinking it can be anyone else. So that means that if they're right, nothing happens. But it's not Honan. Someone going broke. And not to be the bearer of bad news, but the top 3 were all within a single point. Blake, 7 points. Honan, 7.5 points. And that means that Stav is getting the 6th player award. Rookie did not get the rookie of the season, but is getting that 6th player recognition. We do love to see it. So congratulations to Stav. Pulled out the Twitch, absolutely banged some people up, then got it banned, and continued to smurf on a lot of different picks. So congratulations to Stav there. All right, and now we will move on to the all team. I think what we can do with the predictions here is we will just predict give top 4. So we'll just go down the list. So we'll be doing both first team and second team at the same time. So let's go for top lane first. Our possible players are going to be, let me get these in alphabetical order. So that should be Alana first. Then we have Avery. Then we have Joel, Noam, and Puza. Let's see what the predictions are going here. I think all these players had a really good season. Lots of rock, paper, scissors matchups going on here. A lot of players at different strengths into different players. Really exciting to watch every single matchup. I tried to shill through this lane as much as possible on the podcast. I absolutely love to see it. Huge amount of points just got dropped on Joel. A lot of Avery going back and forth between these two. But the prediction is about to end. Majority of the vote is going to Avery in the predictions. Second place is going to go to Joel, represented here by his Renekton. Played a lot of weak side the early run. But the ultimate winner is going to be Avery, represented by the Darius. Lots of Yasuo gameplay as well. Votes were for first. Yes, correct. We're just voting first for all these. But huge dubs to Avery there, and also congratulations to Joel. Both of these players, I feel like, were a step above the rest of the top lane pool. Really shown their best, and had some pretty good trading matchups between each other. But Avery does come out on top. Has a lot of picks that you do need to just ban out against him. Shout out to Joel as well. Poppy gets banned every game against this guy, so a lot of fun stuff coming from both these top laners. Really helped make this lane a complete banger this season. Moving on to the jungle. Since we have a lot more people for this one, we are up to 6. I'm just going to add the top 4 to the prediction, just save myself some typing and get through this a little quicker. Caesarius is in the top 4, Hidiri in the top 4, Jar in the top 4, and Mike in the top 4. So going to start the prediction there. We got the 30 seconds ticking. I feel like this one was not as close as some of the other ones. Kind of similar to... I don't know why Siri thinks I'm talking to her. But yeah, kind of similar to top lane where they're kind of clear. 1-2 coming from the voting. We do have 10 seconds left. Caesarius getting all these channel points. No one else thinks it could be anyone else. 22.4k dropped on Caesarius. They're just hoping someone votes for someone else, but I believe the prediction has just closed. So we're going to reveal second team is going to be none other than, see, the Lilia mates you, doesn't it? But it is going to be Jar or Mason on the Lilia. Absolute banger games from him. Got a lot done there. I'm now noticing that I must have moved that one up there, so kind of leaking some things. But Mason getting some work done on the Lilia. Personally, I feel like Fury could have been in this spot, but who knows? But the first vote is y'all got it right. It's Caesarius. You would expect to see him on the Lily, but I think got banned out enough. And his Maokai, I believe, is 6-0 this season. So he completely slammed. Noam says Caesarius. Hidiri, I think there is definitely an angle there. Hidiri was trailing by about 2.5 votes. But absolute banger jungle performance by a lot of these players. I don't know. I really like this entire jungle pool. Scrims jungle is 2 ego, 2 ban Maokai, and absolutely correct here. But yes, I will close the prediction here. Doesn't really matter because everyone got it right, but 22.3k points put on Caesarius. Y'all confident. Moving on to mid lane. Again, just going to do top 4 for this one. In alphabetical order, we have in our top 4, we have Garrett, we have Brewer, we have Heroic, and we have Stanley. This one was not as close as I thought it was going to be. Clear favorite out of these 4, so would be big. I'm not sure whose slide to slide is, but these are only the top 4, so it is not including everyone. Garrett, you played more than 10 games in the mid lane. I don't know what to tell you. You're eligible for the award. But conclusion has finished, or did I not make the prediction? Okay, I did. Every vote going to Brewer again. People are liking these Spectres players, but second place is going to go to Heroic with that A-Soul. Has played 4 games on it and got banned out a lot. Also drawing a lot of bans on his Kassadin. Man, it was completely terrifying. But speaking of getting champs banned, we have Mr. Number 1 here. We have Brewer again. Echo and Syndra taken out almost every game, and he still manages to completely smurf on people. Had one of the most diverse mid lane pools in the entire season. I believe he played, I think there's a Bard game in there. There's a Jhin game in there. I remember there being some Ivern around, but completely based picks from Brewer there. Really fun player to cast, for sure. Um, Moving on to the bot lane, we do have a tie between the 4th and 5th place, so I'll be um, including 5 players in here for this one. Just want to make sure that giving credit where credit is due. Or actually, I will just include all 6, so we're not singling out the person who got last. I wouldn't like to do that. So Alex, Dean, Garrett, Sarveris, Valor, and Will. These are really easy to get in alphabetical order. We're kind of sandwiching the alphabet here, but top 6. For some reason, I thought BJammer was Blake, even though I know that's not true. I just see B at the beginning, and I think it's Blake. um, but anyway, this vote was like very evenly distributed. Not in the sense that like everyone had the same amount of votes, but it's like a very linear. Like there's equal gaps between most of the players, obviously, except that tie for 4th and 5th. But prediction is in. Some points to me, but most of the points are going to Sarvers here. And I'll hate to say it, but those who voted for me will be disappointed. I did only get 2nd place. Not going to talk about myself at all. I just don't see the benefit in that. But going on to first team, it is going to be Sarvers. Ash is the one highlighted for him, but his Kai'Sa was also insane. This guy can play so many different champions. We've seen him on the Zeri recently. He plays a lot of hypers. And I did gas him up on the podcast. I think this guy really deserves it. From being the one playing against him a lot, I feel like he is the hardest competition by far, and it really is tough for me to be able to get the edge out on him. Huge props to this player. Did make the role swap from mid to ADC and is doing a really good job. And saying Spectres pulling the sweep. We could KT curse Spectres if we voted them all up there, but going to show top 4 again for the support pool. We are moving on. So support. Going alphabetically, we have Erico, we have Jacob, we have Mythic, and we have PB on the top 4. Going to start the prediction up here. Spectre stocks going up. My goats carry me every game. Season 5 New York Nutbusters did not sweep first. People are invested in the Spectres here. They think this is going to be a Spectre sweep. So I'm expecting to see a lot of Mythic predictions coming through here, but it's not actually happening. Erico and PV are getting all the channel points. 50 put on Mythic. That's going to be a huge cash out for that person who put him in, but now more points going down to Mythic. PV is actually the least predicted here. Eric hard leading with 58% of the votes, but we are going to scroll through here, and the second team support was Eric O on the Thresh. Congratulations to him. Both Eric and I were really hard to find champions for, because if you look at our stats across the season, both of us had 1 win on so many champions and then 3 wins on a hook support. Obviously, I'm not going to put Nautilus for me and the ADC position, but Eric's Thresh KDA, little good if you want to look at it. But congratulations to Eric. Has played a lot of diverse champions. Obviously gets that Blitzcrank banned out of it against him a lot. And now the drama is here. Is this going to be Mythic? Is it going to be Jacob? Is it going to be PB? There's going to get the clean sweep. And the first team support is actually their own biggest hater, preying on his own downfall. It is going to be PB. Shout out to PB. Did play super well, as I was talking about in the earlier episode of the podcast. I feel like he played super solid in all these games. And he actually is another one of those players who has 1 win on so many champions. Had to do the rel for him. It was banned out in every single game except for 1, and he gets it and absolutely obliterates everybody. Mythic wins, but he doesn't go on vacation 100%, says Noam, but who knows? If someone plays more, that's more intel on him and maybe more ways to put him down. We will have to see as we get into playoffs how those matchups work out. But now we are going on to MVP. I do not have these sorted correctly, but I'm going to list every player that received more than 5% of the cumulative vote to give proper context for this vote. Also, whoever predicted PB, cashing out here, by the way. The MVP vote is calculated. Half of the value is from the game MVPs, and the other half of the value is from MVP votes. So you can kind of get points from both angles. But looking at the top 5 candidates, our first alphabetically is Cam. It's actually just going to be the top 5 from the game MVPs. No one outside of those was really getting too much, but that's going to be Cam, Brewer, Heroic, Rex, and Sarverus. So I'm going to start the prediction here. I think all of these players have a valid case to get there. I know I didn't list all of them on the podcast, so it wasn't trying to shade anyone, just had more concrete ideas in my head for some of them more than others. But we are going into here. Time is ticking down. 15 seconds remaining on these predicts. And just want to say this is a banger season. So many people did super well on these teams. I will work my way up, and honorable mention to PB, who stands out in this weird middle ground. Everyone else received about 3% or less. PB is sitting at a casual 4.4%. And then fifth place is Rex at 7.42% of the total vote. Then Sarverus in fourth place, 8.76% of the total vote. We're going up to Cam, who had 9.01% of the total vote, and that leaves about 36% to be shared between the top two. Heroic with 15.6%, and Brewer is our winner at 20.4% of the total vote. Congratulations to Brewer. This might be one of the winningest players of all time in terms of season awards. Getting MVP and best teammate alone is insane. He had a significant enough gap over those that he definitely deserved both of those, and getting first team. I just don't think there's a better season that you can have from a player. Really like to see a player that people enjoy playing with. It's really just nice to have around. Huge caster, and just super good at the game. I think there's a reason this man has a fan club, and that is all I'm going to say there. But yes, I'm going to transition away from this into a bit of like a playoff preview as we're about to go into it. We do have about 15 minutes left. There's something else I do want to announce, but I think I will be discussing that when we talk about the semifinals results. Just because of the time crunch, want to make sure that Will has the opportunity to get this in here. But okay, I will make sure that these images do get sent into Hall of Fame right now. Getting that done, and then once that's done, I'll do a little preview going into playoffs. Oh, that looks terrible. Okay, I will send them as two separate images. Trying to cluster them into one is not what I wanted. Okay, anyway, going to have to swap over to the podcast. I hope I look somewhat presentable. Oh, I'm not. Okay, hold on. Let me get this going correctly real quick. Have to hop in a call by myself, which I forgot. Okay, my camera is simply just not working. Give me a hot sec. We'll be back. Okay, we should be good here. Ignore my other stuff. Leaking my server a bit there. Oops. But But yes, going on to here, let me see if I can't get my Chrome tab pulled up correctly. I did make a little slideshow for this, like I did for the points. If we're liking the slideshows, please let me know. I think they're not that bad to put together, and they're a good way to present information of stuff we go over. Oh yeah, I totally just doxed myself, by the way. So, oops. Surely we are not looking at tiny stuff I showed on screen. But anyway, Season 6 playoffs preview. We'll go over it in a sec, but I basically just wrote down some bullet points that I thought were important about each of these. Slides good. That's what we're liking. Can we delete that attachment, Stanley? I really do not appreciate that. If any of my mods can delete that that message, I'm not entirely trying to do that. Would appreciate it. Oh, that's the bracket. Okay. I thought Stanley took a picture of me doxing myself and then put it in chat. My apologies, Stanley. But anyway, Season 6 playoffs preview. Moving forward, first team to look at, we're just going to go by seeds. We do have the Spectres. I think the cool things about this team, in my opinion, just for narratives, we have the new captain coming out for Caesarius. It really is having trouble detecting my background, but Caesarius, new captain, doing great work here, not discrediting Anne, but did step down, and now Caesarius is coming up. For this team, has been super active, encouraging a lot of people to participate and talk in the server. Really do appreciate that. It's possible that there is a Scrims new guard kind of coming out from Spectres. We did just see the 4 first team all Scrims coming out from them. These players are likely not going to end up all playing on the same team. We kind of saw that split up coming from New York Nutbusters in the last season, and now we're seeing it kind of again from the Spectres. So it could be cool to see how these players are playing through these playoffs, and then that's going to affect the perception of them going into the future. So I think all 5 of these players I really want to look at. Honan being there as a sub and super active is also really cool. Obviously, Brewer, the MVP, is on this team, which I think is really exciting. And they have this 9-1 record, and their only current loss is to Metabusters. So I think the expectations for this team is that they're going to get a nice win in this game and go on to the finals to face the Metabusters if we're going by seeding. And there's a possibility that they lose there based on the history. And then if Rift Sharks ends up winning, then it's pretty expected for Spectres to just be able to beat that since they're 2-0 against Rift Sharks in the series. But I think huge favoritism is towards the Spectres in this series. So just something to look forward to for that team. But switching the narrative over to the Metabusters, this is the started from the bottom, now we hear team. Metabusters came from nothing, 0 series wins, 0-10, but now they're in second place. They're doing super well. They have this crazy flex roster. Their identity went from you don't know what champion you're going to pick, and now it's you don't really know what role we're going to play or what roster we're necessarily going to run. They have so many good players, and as we saw in these awards, they're getting a lot of different stuff for all these backup players. Cam is a huge flex player, and then we had Stav for the 6-man, and then lots of votes coming out for some of their other subs and their other flex players. Just a lot of diversity from the Metabusters playstyle, which I think is really interesting. And they're also on a hot streak. They were, I believe, 1-2 to start the season, and then went 6-1 to end the season, if I'm doing my math correctly. So they're definitely on more of a roll than some of these other teams. A lot of momentum coming in for them. And then the last point I do want to make is Garrett and Jacob are finally on a winning team. We had Garrett on Closeted Furries, did not make playoffs. We had Jacob on Janley Animal Control, did not make playoffs. Then we had Garrett and Jacob still performing well individually on Metabusters, 0-10, did not make playoffs. And now these players still performing super well. I don't think these players have been necessarily the problem on these past teams. Now they're finally given a chance to have a team around them that is able to get them to playoffs, and we get to see playoffs Garrett and playoffs Jacob. Garrett has actually not made playoffs through his entire stint in the Scrim server, so finally getting to see him show his playoff form is going to be really exciting. Moving on to the Rift Sharks, we've had this Dean, Eric, Joel, Drago, Michael core for 3 seasons now. We did win once we first put it together on KGS, getting the dub there, and then slumped a little bit. We were trying to find that right fit. Obviously, we're down Mason, so we throw Joel and or Jonah and Healy in the mid jungle, and it didn't quite really have the same strengths and weaknesses that we did have with Mason as our jungler. But that leads me to my second point. The Hidiri comeback arc is going crazy. The getting him back in the jungle, and I feel like he's been a really strong part for our team. Mason has said multiple times that he views him as a bit of like the Mason replacement. I don't know if I strictly view it that way, but I think our team is looking how we did in the KGS days, and I think that does give us some potential. And if you set the stage like that, then maybe we are the dark horse contenders to win it. But I don't really know if that's the narrative other people have. Obviously, I'm going to say we have a chance to win it, but I don't know if that's the overall narrative. So don't want to focus on us too much. But going into the last slide, I think this one is the most exciting. Everyone likes to sleep on. I don't know what happened there. Okay, everyone likes to sleep on the 4th place team. I don't think you can do this at all for Mass Valor and Pirates. They have Valor, Aya, Heroic, and Jackson, who are all looking for the repeat title. This would be 3 team format based tournaments back to back for them. Obviously, Frostbite a little odd, so it doesn't fully count as like season wins, but regardless, you're still looking for a back to back season win. And this core is so strong. And they complement those 3 main players with some pretty exciting rookies, in my opinion. Pooz has been gassed up probably the most of any player all season. Everyone loves watching this guy play. We have Liz. Pooza did recently roll swap. We have Liz going to the mid lane, maybe some ADC. This team's doing all sorts of stuff. It's really exciting. I'm going to check my time here. I'm good. But I feel like this team just gets better the more slept on they are, right? So they were 2nd place in Frostbite, and they were able to get the dub there. Then they were down in 3rd place for the season ending bracket in season 5. People did not think this team could win it at all, but they were able to get 1 dub against New York Nutbusters at the end of the season, stop the 9-0 run. But people were like, well, they had a sub. Is it really beating? And then Mass Valor and Pirates goes, we don't care. We don't care if you think that series win was legit. We are dumping on them in finals. They made it look a little rough with that second game there. It did get completely obliterated by some AP Rakan mid, and then, they shrugged that one off their shoulders and just absolutely blasted New York Nutbusters. And that kind of fits into what I'm saying. Like, you get beat by a bad comp, maybe people don't think you have a chance. And that as soon as people think MVP doesn't have a chance, that gets them right where they want to be. Pooz has even said this himself. If people are doubting him, he's going to play so much better. And as I'm getting into it, since we changed the way that we're doing teams, this is the only team that has won anything. So I really don't think this is a team you can ignore. I think they're an important team to talk about, and I think there is a huge chance for them to pull out this tournament, despite what I think the general narrative is. So do want to make sure that we're shouting out MVP because, I will look like a clown if I don't make sure I do that when they prove everyone wrong and win. So that's my little spiel. Getting down to about 40 minutes of podcast here. We are doing a bit of a shorter episode, but yeah, gonna cut it off here. Could do some sort of like long con. Who do you think is gonna win the entire thing prediction? But just gonna cut stream, and we are going to get it the stage set for the first semifinal matchup, which is going to be between Spectres and Masked Valor and Pirates, casted by Will himself, who is in chat right now. So I'm going to make sure to get this all prepped for him. Much love to everyone tuning into this stream, and make sure to check out these awards and Hall of Fame.